Good morning.
Let's turn to the book of John. Book of John. John chapter 2. Starting in verse 18. It says in John chapter 2, starting in verse 18, it says, Then answered the Jews and said unto him, What sign showest thou unto us, seeing that thou doest these things? Jesus answered and said unto them, Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. Then said the Jews, 46 years was this temple in building, and wilt thou rear it up in 3 days? But he spake of the temple of his body. When therefore he was risen from the dead, his disciples remembered that he had said this unto them, and they believed the scripture and the word which Jesus had said.
Yeah.
Now when he was in Jerusalem at the Passover and the feast day, many believed in his name when they saw the miracles which he did. But Jesus did not commit himself unto them, because he knew all men, and needed not that they should testify of man, for he knew what was in man. Now then, he says in verse 19, Jesus answered and said unto them, Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. Now then, this was after the Jews says unto him, What sign showest thou unto us, seeing that thou doest these things? And then Christ, he said, to destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. Well, that was a sign. The sign. They didn't understand this. You know, it's like they, as I said last Sunday, throughout the entire ages, through all of the prophets, through the scriptures, through everything in time that was in times past, these Jews should have known that Christ was going to die on earth to save man. Well, they were asking for a sign. They kept asking for signs. I mean, the sign was right in front of them. Sign after sign after sign, you know. And it was like, I can give you more and more scriptures about these signs. That's right in front of them. Jesus, you know, he tells them, Destroy this temple, in 3 days I will raise it up. He was the temple. And he was, you know, it's like he was the ultimatum in, and not only the temple, he was the sacrifice, he was the high priest, he was, you know, he was everything. He was everything there to take care of everybody's sin. And so he says, the Jews said, 46 years was this temple in building, and wilt thou rear it up in 3 days? Now, notice they were talking about the physical temple. They took everything physical. Everything was just physical. Show us a sign. Show us a physical sign. Everything that Christ teaches, everything within the Bible, it ought to be spiritual. You know, the physical, it really doesn't matter, because this physical is, you know, it's going to fade out. It's going to be nothing. It's just, you know, it's just straw. Everything that we see, you know, in our future, you know, deals with Christ, deals with God, you know, deals with the spiritual things. So then it says in verse 22, verse 21, he says, "But he spake of the temple of his body. When therefore he was risen from the dead, his disciples remembered that he had said this unto him, and they believed the scripture and the word which Jesus said."
Yeah.
To remind you who Christ is, he is the Word. He is the sign. He's the sign that's right there in front of us. He's continually in front of us. We ought to read the scriptures.
Yeah.
Let's all stand.